Greetings and salutations. I'm going to show you today how to draw Iron Man. He's one of my favorite characters. You can see him here in a flying position. He is a member of the Avengers, the Mighty Avengers, the West Coast Avengers, the Illuminati, the Shield, the Department of Defense, Force Works, Thunderbolts. I mean, you name it, he's the man. So this is the reference picture. We're going to go ahead and begin our drawing. So I think every good drawing session should have some good music, so we're going to go ahead and I'll play some Beethoven for you. Go back to the picture real quick, photos, and save photos. I believe it's, there we go. Nice big picture. So anyways, for Mr. Iron Man here, I'm going to put him on the paper so you can kind of see him, get a better reference of what we're going to be drawing here. So we're going to start out with his head, which is kind of a square if you kind of look at it. I mean, it's not quite a circular object like most heads are. So we're going to go ahead and draw kind of a square shape. That'll be his head for now. We're going to erase that line right there. It's kind of in the way. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cold. So we're going to go ahead and draw now his neck, which kind of, he has a thick neck because obviously he works out, because what superhero is weak? Riddle me that. So now we're going to go ahead and draw, just kind of as a general point, we're going to draw a point of reference, that is, if you will. Drop my glasses. Sorry. So we're going to go ahead and draw this big, it's his energy force shield kind of thing. That's how I view it. We're going to go ahead and draw a circular object there. Now next we're going to go ahead and draw the glowing, I believe these are his source of power to show him if he's low on power, these do not come on, I believe, is what Stan Lee said. A little background information on Iron Man. He was invented by Stan Lee in 1963, I believe it was. If my memory serves me correct, it normally does. So now we're going to go ahead and draw his body, and you want to make sure to suggest that he's, you can see in his picture he's kind of a flying, and we want to make sure to suggest that he's in flight, perhaps. So there we have his body. And next will be the legs, which are kind of pointed downwards, as you can see. But first we need his belt, which circumnavigates his hips. And now we're going to go ahead and draw his legs. He's kind of long. They're almost feminine legs. As you can see, they have some curves to them. But yeah, they're still manly, which is, I guess that's why he's so cool. He's Iron Man. Iron Man, I guess. So now we're going to go ahead and do the boots. His boots don't necessarily need, they don't really need the feet very much, because no one really ever focuses much on the feet anyways, if you ask me. So we're going to go ahead and do his boots, but don't put a lot of emphasis on his boots. Now we're going to go ahead and do a very important part. You can see his hand suggests that he's possibly angry because of his upside down frown. We're going to go ahead and do that real quick. Upside down frown, it's virtually the same. So now we're going to go ahead and do the eyes. His eyes are kind of they're slightly pointed at an angle, perhaps 45 degrees. Now we're going to go ahead and do the nose. His nose is kind of strange. It's kind of it's enigmatic. You can't really see it that well. And in fact, we're going to go ahead and kind of slightly erase it. Pardon me, my cold is fairly substantial right now. Okay, now we're going to do the shoulders. His shoulders could be thought of perhaps as a Dorito kind of shape because, as you can see, it's almost very similar. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do his hands. His hands are, they suggest that he's shooting some kind of laser beam. So we're going to go ahead and do the hands. Now we're going to go ahead and do the opposable thumb. And now the energy source, which is located in the middle. This is looking pretty good so far. Now we're going to go ahead and do the arms now. And this arm kind of gets cut off, so I'm just going to ignore that arm. I feel like it's not that important for this drawing at this particular moment right now. So we're going to go ahead and finish his torso, which kind of goes down into a V shape. And again, I mean, you don't have to be perfect with it unless you're trying to show off to, a friend or something. So this looks pretty good to me, except for one last thing, is the those little peripheral, I don't know what you'd call them quite, because I'm not quite sure what they are, but we'll draw them. Next we'll do, I believe you could do shading with a Sharpie marker. I've done it before, and it's fairly effective and kind of displaying the emotions you want to show people. So we'll go into the Doritos and his head. His head doesn't have to be perfect. Again, if you're not showing this to people, it doesn't really matter too much. But if you're showing, well, I lost my train of thought a real second. I got a text on my phone. Okay, I'm gonna ignore it. If you're I don't even remember what I was talking about. So now we're gonna do his power device, and as you can see, this is shaping up pretty well so far. We're gonna go ahead and finish his torso. And it doesn't have to be directly on the lines, because when you're done, you can erase it with your erasers. So don't worry too much about that. His legs, his nice thighs, and we're gonna go ahead and do the boots. At this point, if you feel like it, you can do more substantial shading, but I feel that it's unnecessary. Just as a general rule of thumb, you don't really have to do shading unless you want it to pop out. But there's Iron Man, sans left arm, but he can't be perfect, I guess. I think it's pretty accurate. We might need some flames coming out there. So there's Iron Man. Hope you enjoy, and check out my next videos. Rate, comment. Actually, don't rate, don't comment, don't subscribe. Reverse psychology. All right. You have a good day.